Good morning, students. So today we will start with session number 5 of our lesson Control and Coordination. Students, let's have a quick recap of what we had done last time. Last time, students, we learnt about glands. We stated that there are two types of glands, that is the exocrine gland and the endocrine gland. We specified that the endocrine glands are called as a ductless glands and the secretions of the endocrine glands are called as the hormones. We stated that the hormones are transported via blood to the different parts of our body. Okay, so we will take a quick recap of the different type of glands which we had done last time. Okay. Now students, first of all, now let's start with the pituitary gland. All of you remember, you know that the location of the pituitary gland is present in the brain, correct? So you can see the location in the brain. I have mentioned to you that it is a master endocrine gland. It secretes hormones like that of the growth hormone. Now the growth hormone, as I told you, it is responsible for the growth of the bones and muscles. Correct. Other than that, two more hormones we had mentioned, TSH and FSH. TSH acting on the thyroid gland and FSH acting on the ovaries as well as testes. We mentioned about two different type of disorders which is related to the growth hormone. That is, increased secretion of growth hormone in the childhood days causes the disorder which is called as gigantism. Whereas decreased secretion of growth hormone in the childhood days causes what you call it as dwarfism. Yes, students. So this was for what we had spoken about the pituitary gland. Now other than that, we studied in another gland which is called as the pineal gland, correct? Now the pineal gland is also a part of your brain. So you can see the location of the pineal gland over here. Now the pineal gland secretes the hormone melatonin. The melatonin is responsible for regulating your sleep and wake cycle. Okay. Now, other than that, students, we had studied about a gland called as the thymus gland. Now, the thymus gland secretes the hormone thymosin, and thymosin helps in building up immunity. That means it increases the resistance of our body to fight against the germs, disease causing germs. Okay. Now, other than that, we studied about another gland, that is the thyroid gland. So, you can see here, this is your thyroid gland. It is located in the neck region. It secretes a hormone called as thyroxine. Thyroxine controls the general metabolism like the protein, carbohydrate and fat metabolism. Deficiency of thyroxine causes a disorder which is called as goiter. We discussed that the occurrence of goiter can be reduced by using the common salt, that is iodized salt. We discussed how iodine is related to the hormone thyroxine. Now, what is the symptom of a goiter? Then goiter, the symptom is that as a person experiences swollen neck. So students, this were the four different endocrine glands which we have done in the previous session. Now let's go to the remaining endocrine glands. Now here the next gland we are going to study is, we are going to study about pancreas. And which are the hormones which are secreted by the pancreas? The pancreas secrete the two hormones. One is the insulin and the other is the glucagon. Okay. Now first we will see the location of this pancreas. Now pancreas, it is basically a leaf-like gland. The shape is like a leaf or it is like a carrot, broad at the one end and it tapers towards the end. Okay. So and it is present behind the stomach. So I will just enlarge this diagram and I will show you. Okay. Now students, this is what you are seeing here is the pancreas. Can you see, this is the pancreas you are seeing? Can you see the leaf-like appearance of the pancreas? Can you see here, this is appearing like a leaf. It has got a pointed apex and a broad base it has got. Okay, can you see, do you remember this is the C-shaped duodenum which we have studied in the life processes? Okay, you can see the liver on the right hand side and you can see the gallbladder, and behind this is nothing but your stomach. So this is the position of your pancreas. Okay, now after the position of the pancreas, now let's go to study the disorders related to the endocrine gland pancreas, as well as what are the hormones secreted and how it acts in our body. Okay, now the insufficient amount. So as I mentioned to you, the gland pancreas and the hormones which are secreted by the pancreas, there are two hormones. One is insulin and the other is glucagon. Now, if there is an insufficient amount of insulin from the pancreas, then it results in a disorder which is called as a diabetes. Okay, now diabetes is a disorder which is seen in case of small children as well as in case of adult. So now we will see how these hormones, two hormones, are responsible for maintaining the blood sugar level. Like what is the role of insulin and glucagon? We will do it in the next slide. So here I will explain you this chart first. Okay. So now my dear students, here this is the gland, that is pancreas. You know that the pancreas releases out two hormones. One is glucagon and the other is insulin. Okay. Now, what is the function of glucagon? Glucagon always increases the blood sugar level. But what is the function of insulin? Insulin always decreases the blood sugar level. So again, let me repeat, glucagon increases the blood sugar level, whereas insulin decreases the blood sugar level. So don't you feel both the hormones are working in an opposite manner? And when two hormones function in an opposite manner, we call such hormones as antagonistic hormones. Antagonistic hormones, that means the hormones which are working in an opposite manner. Okay, so now the blood requires a particular amount of glucose. Whether you consume the food or whether you don't consume the food, the blood doesn't bother about it. It wants a particular amount of glucose inside it. Okay, now in case if there is a low blood glucose level, you can see here it is a condition here, that is a low blood glucose in the blood vessel. There is blood and the glucose level here it is very less. So the blood vessel triggers the pancreas. Triggers the pancreas means gets connected to the pancreas. It gets connected to the pancreas. So what does the pancreas do? The pancreas releases a hormone called as glucagon. Now what is the target organ of the glucagon? Or if you remember what is target organ? Organ on which the hormone act is called as a target organ. And the target of the organ of the glucagon is nothing but your liver. And liver is a place where the sugars are stored. So glucagon acts upon the liver and compels the liver to secrete glucose into the blood so that the blood will have a normal amount of glucose. Is it clear? So here in this session the blood glucose was less. And we have to increase the blood sugar level. So to increase the blood sugar level, we took the help of the hormone glucagon, which acted on its target organ, that is the liver, and compelled the liver to release out glucose, because liver is a place where glucose is stored in the form of glycogen. Okay, and finally we achieved a normal blood glucose level. Now let us see the second part, second session of this diagram. Let us see now. Okay, so in that, here there is a high blood glucose level. The glucose level in the blood has increased, but the blood says that I don't want so much of glucose. Okay, so when the blood glucose level increases, it again connects to your pancreas. So it is getting connected to the pancreas. It is triggering the pancreas. So pancreas is now releasing out the hormone which is called as insulin. And what is the function of the insulin? Insulin decreases the blood sugar level. So here the insulin is taking up the glucose and it is storing it in the fat cells. The fat cells takes in glucose from the blood so that the blood will have only a particular amount of glucose. So when the fat cells takes up glucose from the blood, again the blood is going to have a normal blood glucose level. So because of the opposite functioning, that is antagonistic functioning of both the hormone, we have a normal blood sugar level. If working of any of the hormones is upset, then in that case it would cause disorder. And the disorder caused due to the deficiency of insulin is nothing but diabetes. Function of pancreas. It produces two hormones, insulin and glucagon. Both these hormones act antagonistically and regulates the blood sugar level. I hope all of you have understood how it acts antagonistically. That means it acts opposite to each other. Okay, now there are certain cases in which the amount of insulin secreted is less. In that case, the insulin is available in the vials like this, bottles like this. In that case, the patient is asked to take injection of insulin. Can you see? The child is taking an injection of insulin in case of diabetes. Students, I hope you have understood the gland pancreas, its location, hormones and function. So now let's go to the next gland, and the next gland we are studying is the adrenal gland. Okay, now adrenal gland location, it is above the kidney. Okay, can you see here? This. Now this is your adrenal glands. This, both of them are your adrenal gland. This is your kidney. Adrenal glands are present above the kidney. Okay, now this adrenal glands releases a hormone which is called as adrenaline. So adrenal glands, they are present above the kidney, and the adrenal gland secretes a hormone called as adrenaline. So now let's go ahead with it. Location, it is present above the kidney. Function, it secretes the hormone adrenaline, which helps in a fight and flight response. What is a fight and flight response? This fight and flight response is experienced by an organism when an organism faces a stress or a danger. Okay, under a condition of stress and danger, the hormone which is released out from the body is nothing but adrenaline. So adrenaline helps us in coping up with the stress of our body. Okay, now in case of fight and flight reaction to an emergency situation, as I told you, emergency situation can be a stress, exam stress. At that time, adrenaline secretion is more. You are chased by a ferocious animal. This is an emergency situation. You are participating in a sports at the national level and international level. So there is a stress to be the winner. At that time, it is a condition of fight and flight. So at that time, adrenal glands pump in or releases a large amount of adrenaline into your blood. Okay. Now see the next slide. There you will understand how it is how the hormone for fight and flight is released. Yes. Here I have got two pictures. You can see a man is chased by a dog and he is running, ferocious dog. And here you can see the sportsmen, they are participating in the sports. At that time they require more energy, so the body pumps out a large amount of adrenaline. It is both of them are a condition of fight and flight. Okay. So what does the adrenaline do? Okay, how does it help us in coping up an emergency situation? When adrenaline is released into the blood, you know that adrenaline is a hormone secreted by the endocrine gland, adrenal gland. So it is released into the blood. When it is released into the blood, it fastens your heartbeat. Faster the heartbeat because it will help in running faster. It supplies more oxygen to the muscles. Reduce blood supply to the digestive system and skin because that's the organ you are not using in a fight and a flight. Diversion of blood to the skeletal muscles so that the speed of running is increased, and increase breathing rate so that there is ample amount of oxygen supply to the different parts of our body. So these are the functions of the hormone adrenaline under the condition of stress and strain on our body. That is how to face an emergency situation. In an emergency situation, this is how adrenaline acts on our body. I hope you are clear about the adrenal glands and the hormone adrenaline. Now let me tell you students, it is not that adrenaline is released in case of human beings. It is released out in all the animals. When a predator is chasing a prey, at the same time the prey experiences the same feeling what a human being experiences in a condition of emergency. Okay, let's go to the next slide now. Now students, the next gland you are studying is testis. Now testis. The testis is responsible for secreting the hormone called as the testosterone. Okay, now, so just enlarge this diagram. Yes. Yeah. So now students, this is the testis. The testis is also called as a testicle. Now in case of human beings, the testis is present extra abdominal. Extra abdominal means outside the abdomen, in a sac or a bag like structure. This sac or a bag like structure which is present extra abdominal, outside the abdomen, this sac is called as the scrotum, and the testis is present in the scrotum. Now the testis is responsible for the production of the male hormone which is called as testosterone. Okay, more about the other parts of the male reproductive system we will study in the lesson reproduction in organisms. So here we are just studying about the testis, and you saw that the testis is present extra abdominally in a pouch like structure or a bag like structure which is called as the scrotum, and it secretes a male hormone which is called as the testosterone. Okay, now let's see further part. So location, it is present in the scrotum. Function, the testis produces the male gamete, that is the sperm, and the hormone called as testosterone. Now what are the functions of the testosterone? Now the testosterone is responsible for controlling your secondary sexual characters. Now what are the secondary sexual characters in case of a male? Like for example, the growth of mustache, the growth of beard, the change of the sound, all these are the secondary sexual characters. And this secondary sexual characters in a male is controlled by the hormone which is called as testosterone, and testosterone is secreted by the testis. Okay. Now let's go to the next gland now. So we are over. Now let's come to the next gland, that is ovary. Now ovary is responsible for the secretion of two hormones. One is called estrogen and the other is called as the progesterone. One is the estrogen and the other is the progesterone. So I will just enlarge this part. Let us see the location now. Students, this area of the body is called as the pelvic region. The pelvic region is a region below the abdomen. Abdomen is the part where your stomach is present. So lower abdomen and below that region is called as what you know, the pelvic region. Now in the pelvic region, can you see here? Here there are two ovaries which are present on either side of an organ called uterus. This is the uterus. On either side of the uterus, can you see the ovaries here? Okay, now this ovaries is responsible for the production of the female gamete, ovum. At the same time secretes two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Now let us see. Now ovary. The ovaries are present in the pelvic region. Function, the ovary produces the female gamete, ovum, and the hormones estrogen and progesterone. Now estrogen is responsible for controlling the secondary sexual characters. Now what are the secondary sexual characters? Secondary sexual characters in a female is nothing but the beginning of the menstrual cycle or the reproductive cycle. At the same time, the growth of the hairs in the private parts are nothing but secondary sexual characters. So this is controlled by the female hormone estrogen in case of females. Okay. So students, we have studied estrogen controls the secondary sexual characters in females. Now what about progesterone? Now progesterone is a hormone which is responsible for maintaining pregnancy. So estrogen controls the secondary sexual characters in case of female, and progesterone is responsible for maintaining pregnancy. So this is the function of estrogen and progesterone. Now let's move to the next slide. Now next slide, gland is parathyroid gland. The hormone is the parath hormone. Parathyroid gland hormone is the parath hormone. Location. Now this parathyroid glands, there are two pairs. So two pairs means four glands, and they are present at the back side of the thyroid gland. So back side of the thyroid gland. So here you can see the back side. I will just enlarge this here. See. Now this is your thyroid gland here. At the back side of the thyroid gland, can you see this yellow spots here, yellow globular structure? This yellow globular structure, what you are seeing here is nothing but your parathyroid gland. And this parathyroid gland is responsible for secretion of a hormone called parath hormone. And this parath hormone is responsible for maintaining the calcium and phosphate level of our body. Okay. So here students, I would just like to add, now what you are seeing here is, this is the trachea. Can you see the trachea being supported by the C-shaped cartilage? Can you see it is coming from that front side, and you can see the opening of the C-shaped structure. Okay, I am just adding it to it. Yeah. So location, these are four small glands which are present in the neck region behind the thyroid gland. Function, parath hormone regulates the calcium and phosphate levels in the blood. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. Now here students, this is called as a feedback mechanism. Okay. Now what is a feedback mechanism? So let's see here. Feedback mechanism is a self-regulating mechanism in which the level of one substance in the body influences the level of another. This feedback mechanism we have studied. Do you remember where we have studied the feedback mechanism? We learned the feedback mechanism in case of the blood sugar regulation. Blood sugar regulation. Correct. When the blood sugar increased, at that time what happened? It sent the message to the pancreas. The pancreas was releasing out what? Insulin. And insulin was storing those sugar in the fat cells and decreasing the blood sugar level. So this is a self-regulating mechanism. Self-regulating mechanism is called as a feedback mechanism. So it is a self-regulating mechanism in which the level of one substance in the body influences the level of another. So here there is a chart here, yes, which explain. So here sugar level in the blood rises. It is detected by the pancreas. Pancreas will synthesize the insulin. The blood sugar level will fall. So whereas the blood sugar level falls, what will happen? It will stop secreting more of insulin. Or else what will happen? The blood sugar will continuously keep on falling down. That I don't want. I want a normal level for it. Okay, so this mechanism is called as a feedback mechanism. You can see the dotted area, that is when the blood sugar level falls, at that time the feedback is given to the pancreas that come on, stop secreting insulin or maintain the normal amount of insulin. Okay, this mechanism is called as feedback mechanism. So now just let's go to the next slide. So the next slide students, here it is a self-explanatory part, or you can a summary of this entire session. Today's session, that is session number 5. Okay. So adrenal glands, they are present above the kidney. As we have studied, what does it secretes the hormone adrenaline. Heartbeat increases, rate of respiration increases, alertness increases, sweating happens. Piloerection. Piloerection is nothing but the hairs on your skin tends to stand erect. The hair on your skin tend to stand erect. That is called piloerection. Okay, it stimulates the breakdown of glycogen, lipids and proteins. Okay, then your ovaries in females, it is present in the pelvic region. It secretes the hormone estrogen and progesterone. Development of the female genital organ, development of secondary sexual characters in women. And you know progesterone is responsible for maintaining pregnancy. Testis, it is present in the scrotum in the male. It secretes the hormone testosterone. Development of male genital organ and development of secondary sexual characters in male. This is a self-explanatory diagram for this 4 endocrine glands. And this is the parathyroid gland. 4 small oval structures on the back side of your thyroid gland. This secretes the hormone parath hormone, regulates the calcium and phosphate. So this marks the end of this session. Now let us go to study, look into the assignments. The assignments explain the feedback mechanism. So we have discussed about the blood sugar level here. Next, what are the changes that occur in our body at the time of fight and flight situation? As I told you, alertness is there, increased blood sugar we have seen, correct? Heartbeat increases, the blood supply to the digestive system decreases, skin decreases, correct? That there is a breathing rate increases, more amount of oxygen supply to the muscles. All this you are going to write. Write short notes on pancreas, testes and ovaries. So there you will study, write about the location, the hormones secreted, disorders related to the same if any are there. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.